Hello again. I am the Reverend Simon Archer, and also known as the Gaming Vicar, and I thought I'd take you to a new place today, somewhere a bit different after our trip to Liverpool. This is a bit closer to home. We're still in the Isle of Man, but around at Peel. So I've just parked up the car, and I've just dropped off my daughter. Actually, she's off to but she's part of the choristers who are going to be singing Evensong this afternoon. And it's a Sunday. I've just taken a couple of services and stuff and other bits and bobs, and now off to church again to drop again my daughter off to sing. And I thought I'd take you for a walk around Peel while I'm here. So we'll turn the camera around and we'll have a look, and I'll start chatting. There we go. So this is kind of a bit of a side entrance. The cathedral, we won't be able to go in at the moment. It's having some work done to it. So it's all caged off at the moment whilst they do all the works. Replacing flooring, modernising, adding loos and things like that. Or changing loos, I think. Lots of stuff like that. So it's a bit chilly here actually, not as warm. It's quite cloudy here. It has been like this for the last couple of days, where it's been cloudy in Peel and absolutely glorious and hot in Castletown and a lot of the south. Peel, you get that with an island like this. You get that, they're cool flowers. You get that kind of little microclimate stuff going on. That's quite cool, isn't it? You got that one in someone's garden near us, behind us, and we spotted it, and it's like huge things. Must be a local thing. Come all the way along here. So this is St German's Cathedral. A lot of work going on at the moment. On the grounds, it's quite small for a cathedral, but we are on an island, so what do you expect? Having just come back from Liverpool, Liverpool Cathedral's pretty big. There's lovely walks and gardens around the cathedral. We'll do a little walk around here first of all, I think. The Nuccolo Garden. Got plenty of interesting artwork and things going on. Lots of interesting art and stuff. Head move back a bit so you can see that. It's like the Archibald Knox sculpture or something. I don't know if is it made by, I think it's in memory of him. I'm not sure it's a sculptor, yeah, Angela Patchett. So, but it's kind of lots of interesting stuff going on with it. Fortunately, I think a lot of the tiles are worn away, but it's got a nice cool look to it, I must say. There's lots of little, so you've got the shape of a dog there. There's lots of kind of mythology around like folklore and things that happens here. So you've got like probably I can't remember the name of it, the Mockidoo or Mogadoo, or I don't know. Sounds like Agadoo, doesn't it? But there's a black dog thing, and then there's various trolls and monsters that live on hills on the island. Looks like a dragon to me. We do have a drinking dragon. I think like an outcrop of rock near the Calf of Man, which is called the Drinking Dragon. So we'll have a walk around here and walk around the other side of the cathedral as well. And we'll walk all the way along to the seafront as well. So that will, I think I was dropping off for 3 o'clock. Evensong's at 3:30. I have no idea. I was wondering that myself. Because we noticed one in the back of someone's garden behind it. I live in Castletown, And we saw one in the back and we said, what's that? But I have no idea. I'm going to send a picture to my dad. He's the gardener. Should point out, obviously I'm wearing my collar today and standing by a cathedral. You probably think I'm something to do with it. So, well, I am something to do with it. It's my cathedral, but let's take you up these other gardens as well, because these are quite interesting and quirky. Here we go. A little walk around here. I'm going to spend too long talking about any of these. There's lots of boards like with lots of interesting pieces and bits of information, but could be here for an hour just walking around here. This is interesting. It's the Cathedral Garden, which is the kind of little churches that were built on the island. This is the flower these people are asking about. We were talking about a minute ago. Look at that. Incredible. This is like a reproduction made for the garden, but it's pretty cool. I've got a replica of fireplace, or no, sorry, like an altar frontal almost, or something like that, which is I'm sure there's some history written around here somewhere, but anyway, replica one that was found. Quite cool. Lovely. Lots to see. Fortunately, again, can't go in the cathedral because of all the works, but we'll have a little wander around the Abbey Garden. Got a labyrinth as well. I won't be using the labyrinth today. Definitely, if you're ever over here, it's worth a visit around the cathedral. These really quirky, interesting gardens. Beautiful gardens. That sun's really burning through a bit. That cloud keeps coming over there. As fast as it's burning through. All the plants in here, so as I say, everything has a meaning, but this is the infirmer's garden, so plants used by kind of infirmers or people who give medical attention around the 13th century. So they would use a lot of these things. I don't know about the nettles, but maybe. I think the rest of it's meant to be there. We'll head out, start walking down to the front. Yeah, really pretty gardens. And now I'll have a wander down towards the seafront, I think. You know, it's very tempting to bring a swimsuit with me. Swimsuit, oh my goodness. But yeah, oh, it's the music school. This is where my daughter sings. I can hear them just in the background practicing. Hiya. This is kind of, I guess, the main entrance, the little driveway up to the cathedral. It's very different having a little cathedral like this to these massive, huge ones. They're very grand and everything, but this is very welcoming and warm and kind of pretty and quaint. Kind of makes sense for an island. So as we go along here, we got on the left-hand side here, we have the Peel Methodist Church on that side. One of the things I really like about the Peel Methodist Church here, when I was in there for a service, they allowed us to use their church for one of the services around Christmas. And got some really good lighting in there. I really appreciate lighting. It makes a difference to buildings if it's done really well. And they really have got some excellent lighting. They like almost liturgical lighting, so when it's a purple season, they have purple lighting, and you know, green season, you get liturgical colours in the church, and it just kind of makes sense, you know. Now we're heading into the town itself. I'll take one of the little side roads.
I am actually hoping that
Funny, I'm wearing my prescription sunnies at the moment, and they're not the best because they're like long focal lens. I'm sorry, I really can't see what's on the screen here. I could have not been recording for the last 20 minutes, I wouldn't have a clue. Really peaceful. Yeah, this is your typical Sunday in a town in on the Isle of Man. Douglas isn't even that busy on a Sunday. It will be next week as we start getting into TT. But at the moment it's fine. What should I short? Let's walk down this way. Let's walk down one of the little side roads. There's some really quaint, pretty little streets and places on here. How cool is that? If you like a camper. Yeah, just a terrace street. Tempted to go on the beach, but I haven't really got the footwear for them. Just wearing my. I took 2 services this morning. 2 different churches. It's day of Pentecost today, and fairly, you know, big occasion really in the church, like a proper festival. But yeah, 2 services at the 2 churches. Plus we had a big birthday, 70th birthday of one of our organists. But So yeah, I'm dressed for that really. Not really dressed for a long walk, although got a good walk coming up next week. Maybe I'll film some of that. That'll be walking the Keels. That's another thing. There's kind of a faith group walk, if you like. Here we go. Out onto Peel Beach. We get across here. Considering it's a lovely day, it's really sunny now. It's a bit cooler here in Peel, definitely cooler than it was in Castletown where I've just left. There you go. One of the many beaches on the Isle of Man. And we'll have a little walk around the castle as well, why not? Peel Castle. There's an old cathedral in there as well. Like Peel Cathedral back in the day. What you find here on the island is some of these beaches, I mean this is like just proper golden sandy beach. And you get a lot of pebbly beaches, some of them are absolutely rocks and stuff. It's all very different. Very different bits of coastline. But you could be in Wales or Cornwall or somewhere like that along here quite easily. Especially with the seascape and what you see along the coast there. It's beautiful. We'll carry on walking along. Or should I have a walk along the beach? Why not? Only a bit of sand in my shoes, I can live with that. Let's walk along by the water's edge. We're tipping the sand out later, but why would you live by the coast if you're worried about a bit of sand in your shoes? It's worth it. Gotta love the water, being by the sea. It's a lovely little beach, this. It's fairly quiet. I say it's a bit fresh here. It's a bit cooler than down south at the moment. So a little sweep round. Looking like the tide's still going out at the moment. Oh, we've got quite a few gulls over there on the water. Always worth keeping an eye out if you see gulls as to whether or not there might be a basking shark around. We get quite a few basking sharks this time of year starting to come in. There's been quite a few sightings already. You also get the dolphins, starlight and moonlight, which are kind of resident dolphins, but you also get pods of dolphins coming through. Is it Risso? I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it, but Risso dolphins. Get some humpbacks. I mean, how cool is that? I say, it's a pretty special place. But I say that, I haven't seen anything yet. Haven't seen any, but hopefully, you know, spend enough time by the coast. Good to wander by the water. Should be getting my feet wet really, but just starting to see a few more of the bikes coming in, just watching a load of scooters in front go past. But we're starting to see that kind of part of the year which we haven't really experienced yet, where all the motorsport's really happening. And we start getting a lot of visitors to the island here. I mean, anyone who's visited this week, we had a couple in this morning in church who were just visiting from Hertfordshire and come along for a church service. And they had a whale of a time, because this week's they'd stayed in Castletown, and for the last sort of 5 days it's been absolutely glorious. I think there was rain on Monday, and then the rest of the week's been amazing. Well, Monday was my rest day, so of course there was rain. It'll probably be rain again tomorrow because it's my rest day. Like day off, basically. Getting some sun though. Over there you got the famous Davison's ice cream parlour as well. Yeah. It's just a different feel here. I've visited plenty of seaside places, but we did all our holidays as much as possible, either forests or mainly sort of beaches and by the seaside somewhere. And even from a kid growing up myself with my own children, so but it just feels a bit more alive here. Some of these seaside places feel a bit like they're hanging on with the tourism. But I think the island lost a lot of its tourism a long time ago. Still quite prominent part, but the economy is slightly different in that it's more about well, certainly gaming, which is a debatable matter, let's say, not something I'm particularly fond of, gambling, online gambling, but obviously banking and finance, which again is probably controversial, but it's not the same reliance as a lot of other places have on tourism. So it's less seasonal, I guess. But we do get, or we are going to get very busy. I say we do get, I've never been here before through most part of this season, so this is all going to be new. What time is it? 20 past. Good. Right, I'm gonna walk up. Great thing here as well is you get those sort of, you're on the beach, but behind you you've got the hills. Not quite mountains, but it's beautiful behind. Right, let's step onto this jetty with slip and out for a walk around the castle. Football's on today. My beloved Arsenal playing for second place, really. But it is what it is. You never know. You might get some kind of miracle happen where we win and City lose. But I doubt that. It's a good spot to have a look at, kind of a selfie with the there we go. Do the collar bit with the castle. It's not full in. Right by the edge. Let's see, we got the castle in. Let's go like that. I know it's weird. I'm just trying to, because what I'll do later is I'll take a screenshot of that to use as my shot for my YouTube video, which hopefully this will turn into. Don't see many of them about, do you? A fish bar going on. We've got Fenella Beach. We'll have to do the look at Fenella Beach, or sorry, Fenella Bridge leading to Fenella Beach.
sticks. And
Fenella Beach is a beautiful little beach. It's a great place. So Peel is really well known for its incredible sunsets. I mean, there's some, anywhere along the west coast you're going to get good sunsets. But Peel, I guess the setting with the castle and things is quite well known for it. But this particular beach is, I think it's where they dump the clamshells or the on the beach, and so it ends up just full of shells. It's a pretty beach. Pretty beach. Yeah. Well, at some point come out here and do a time lapse of the sunset, I think, because it's a really good place for it, especially at the back of the castle, which I'll walk along to in a moment. But it's just wonderful. Can't describe for you. I'm trying to get that sea air when you get that kind of seaweedy saltiness, and when it is really warm, that cool breeze you get off the sea, there's nothing like it. But it's a great beach. You see lots of people in the water here quite often, like especially sort of at the end of the day, watching that sunset whilst paddling in the water, floating about. Is about as good as it gets. Right, so I've walked around the castle. I've done a few steps today anyway, at least. So walk along. The Peveril over there, there's a bar next to the harbour there. We've been there once or twice, and it's very reasonably priced, should we say. I don't remember the last time I got a couple of drinks for under £5, but we did there. So no potted histories of Peel Castle. It's a castle, it's in Peel. That's about all I know. I'm not a great history buff. But enough to learn since I got here without worrying about the histories of particular places like this. Pretty nice. I saw shells down there as well. Fantastic. Right, let's go for a walk, shall we? We're gonna be kind of POV mode. I'm not gonna worry too much. Let me just straighten it up. Yeah, it's kind of straight because I want to concentrate on where my feet are going. And not slip over and fall down steps, which will probably make a really good video, but might not be good for me. Beautiful flowers coming out at the moment. It's part of the sort of spring going into summer. A bit later in the year we'll have real kind of show of colour with the heathers. Some of the hills turn purple. Incredible. Whew. There's quite a lot of beaches like this. There's quite a lot of beaches where dogs are very welcome still. which I think is a good thing. They've got enough beaches that they don't need to close them all down to dog walkers and dogs who, if you can see down here, are having an absolute whale of a time running around the beach, playing in the water. But also good that there's beaches where people know they won't have dogs. They won't have to worry about any mess, or everybody might have a few fears and things. It's nice that there's beaches that are, you know, respectful of that as well. Good thing about being here, it's an island, so it's quite a lot of coastline and quite a few beaches. Views from here are amazing. Not the best on the island, which is saying something. So I think when the weather's a bit better, we'll go back up to South Barrule. I want to try North Barrule. I haven't done a Snaefell video since I first visited here, and it wasn't much of a video for that, it's just a short one. I have to go up there and do, hopefully on a clear day, do a good one at the top of Snaefell, the mountain on the Isle of Man. A spot where we sometimes stand or sit while watching the sunsets. Even I still can't believe I live here. If you've, I think everyone should feel like that at some point in life. It's like, wow, I can't believe I get to live here, because it's fantastic. An absolute joy. This is the sort of backside of the kind of backside of the castle. Kind of away from the beach, it's getting quieter. Listening light off the sea. These beautiful rocks. I get a thing about rocks and stones and stuff. I just love the patterns and the little plants that grow out of them. Hanging on for dear life. Beautiful little flowers. Basically just wildflowers, and they're just the prettiest little things. But these rocks and the way they're sort of jagged outcrops and lines of don't know what it is actually, I can't remember. The name escapes me. Beautiful. I don't think I've walked around this far before. You know, the thing is, being here is that we're just taking our time. I don't ever want to leave this island, so the idea is that I've got my whole life to explore it. Don't need to rush to get it done, which makes life a lot more pleasant. Years and years. Oh, that waterways looks a bit unpleasant. Right. So relaxing being here. I know it's Sunday, it's the day I work. I work 6 days a week, so I allow myself, whenever I've got time, to do what I need to do. And I brought my daughter to support the singing in the cathedral. It's not quite in the cathedral at the moment, but thank you.
Okay.
We come around the corner. We should do a reveal, shouldn't we? Sort of, I actually don't know what I'd be revealing, but there's someone taking photos. still keep my eyes open. You never know. Whenever I'm in Peel, they've always got sightings in Derby Haven or something, which is right near where I live. Whenever I'm anywhere where near I live, it's always in Peel. So I imagine they're just avoiding me. I don't blame them. No, you're work. No, it's fine.
Just listening to the bird.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a meadow pipit.
Oh,
I thought, I've got this Merlin app, it's called.
okay.
And I just heard this. Oh, I'll get my phone out. So it came up straight away, meadow pipit. Not a meadow, but
Well, there's plenty of wildflowers around,
There is,
and it's that
certainly.
sort of yeah.
yeah, it's fab.
Always like to keep those sort of interactions in, because it's just nice that people are so friendly and lovely and smiley, and lots of people are just happy because they're visiting. Hello. It's all right. You're welcome. The interactions are really nice, and people are really friendly, and it's either because they live here, and people are, on the whole, very, very friendly and very chatty and things here. It's got that kind of style to it. People do stop to talk to each other for ages, stop in shops, stop in the streets, stand at the back of church before and after services, nattering away. It's kind of what happens here. But if you're visiting, you kind of, we get a lot of visitors from the north anyway. The northern people are generally the most friendly. Can't help but say it. I have to say, after being to Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, anywhere north of England, people are so friendly. Not that there isn't friendly people elsewhere, but culturally, just it is different. Anyone who says it's not either hasn't travelled there or probably comes from London and wants to pretend that it's the friendliest place in the world. There's some lovely places and lovely friendly people in London. Where I was serving last in Belvedere was amazing little community, but not everywhere it's like that. Well, no dolphins. Let's go through here. Not really sure where I come out here. Do I have to walk all the way back? No, surely I can just walk over some pathway thing.
The registry office and
Oh, yeah, no, this looks promising. Oh, thank goodness for that. Having not walked that way before. Peel Breakwater Kiosk. Coffee shop at the end. Oh, it's been a nice one to visit, I think, at some point. Watching the time. Might slowly wander back. Let's have a look at some other bits and bobs while we're doing that. Peel Lifeboat Station. That's that. I'm compiling some questions from other priests at the moment, because what would they want to know if they were moving to the Isle of Man? Because we're going to have a couple of posts come up soon, which will potentially one or two, which pretty important posts actually, but would give people the opportunity to live in just such a glorious place, which is really active and busy, and yet still relaxed and quiet in some places, different times of year, really seasonal. You really feel the seasons here, the winter, the spring, the summer, and the autumn, because it's so close to nature and the sea and the fields and the forests and the farming. It's one of those places where you feel engaged with and engaged by the seasons. But those posts are going to be, I'll be shocked if they're not sought after, if there's not people queuing up for them. Probably won't be, which is interesting. But it's a big move for a lot of people. A fantastic opportunity for someone. or someone to come and join this amazing community in this place. Start walking back. Pretty good walk actually. So the walk I've got on Thursday, we've got this Praying the Keels, so that's sort of little churches and places like that. It's a kind of walking spiritual event that happens every year. It's the 19th year I think this year. And so got like a 5-mile walk, which will take about 3.5 hours just because it's quite steady with stops along the way and things. So that will be a good long kind of walk, potentially a recording. I don't know, it might be nice just to engage with it actually. Can always do it another time.
Sorry to bring this here, bro. When you die, it's just the void. Ain't no heaven. Just darkness. Just emptiness.
Do you know what he's saying then?
Just the void after you die. Ain't no heaven, sir. There ain't
I like the accent. Where's the accent from?
I don't even know.
Neither do I.
Do you believe in God?
I'm a priest, of course I do.
A what?
Priest,
You
vicar.
can't tell he's a priest. He's got
The collar, you know, it's a bit of a giveaway.
What's a priest?
What's a priest? So,
He priests things.
so I work in a church. So I take services.
Do you do exorcisms?
So what happened kind of next was I had a really good conversation with 3 young people who'd seen my collar and were making a few jokes, and that's not unusual to have young people push the boundaries a little bit, and as long as you don't take offence to it, that's absolutely fine. I'm thicker skinned than that. So just to be clear, that I'll come back and I'll be talking again about my experience with them, but I just wanted to not be recording young people on camera. So although he wanted to make some funny faces in front of the camera and they were really desperate to get on camera and asked me not to cut it and wanted to watch the YouTube video later, I decided it probably wasn't appropriate. So I've removed that part from the video. But they were really good-natured kids, and they were really funny and had lots of banter. And it goes to show, when you wear a collar and have a thicker skin, then and you don't mind a few jokes being made, then you're going to have a really good interaction. Hopefully they left that that kind of meet up feeling a bit different perhaps about vicars and churches and things like that. You never know. So anyway, that's why it'll jump a little bit, and you won't hear much from the kids until until they're walking away in the distance anyway. So I'll probably have cut a big chunk out of that video, just because I had some young people come up and wanted to chat. They do the usual thing where they come up and try and say something that you're going to offend you, but I don't get offended by anything really. So it was fine. Talk about there is no heaven, there's only the void. But then they started a conversation, you know, asking about stuff that I believe in. Always good. It's always difficult though, so I've turned the camera away from them so there's no recording of them. I think one of them pulled a funny face into the camera, that's about it really, but I'll probably have to take all that out. It's a shame. It'd be nice to show an interaction with young people that isn't weird or dodgy or uncomfortable, but just kind of good friendly banter. But they're good kids, good kids. I always try and push the boundaries. Young people do that, and I think you've got to be a little bit more resilient than that when you're a priest, and not worry about it. It's good that they're engaging. And maybe if they've met me today, maybe they think that actually priests, or that they've met a vicar today that isn't actually so bad as to this. Not that any priests are particularly, it's just that there's that perception, isn't that stereotype. So perhaps I've broken down a little bit of that stereotype, and that's always good. Anyway, back to Peel. Whew. It's warm. Let's have a little wander across the bridge. Such a good vibe here today. I just put with ice creams.
You can see Bruce is getting so anxious about it.
And then he said that he's gonna kill me. He was alone. He was alone. It was short.
Really nice, relaxed. Some families on here now, perhaps a few more people even, because I think the sun's been coming out a little bit more. There's a few more people on here. I think we'll have another little walk up the road. See what we can find. Controversial building at the moment. The lease runs out in a couple of years' time, 3 years' time, and the commissioners are taking it back to do works to it, so they're taking back the lease, which always a bit risky, always a bit dodgy. Oh, there's a crossing here. This is really silly of me. Let me use the crossing. Be like a grown up for a change. And we'll go for a nice little walk up the road, see where it leads us. Kind of know my way roughly around Peel, but I've only been here sort of walking around the town probably half a dozen times, so never quite sure which road I'm going down. I just kind of miss it though. There's some couple little roads. I'm probably gonna miss it again, which have really got some like really pretty. Lots of like little mews like that. It's a good hotel. Good. Is it that one? No, maybe the one further along. I don't know. Oh, this is a place I'm interested in. It says open. I don't know for a minute. It's actually open. There's people in. How cool is that? Manning Music Shop. After a guitar at some point, but not electric. Well. Ooh. I've got some cool stuff in here. I'm gonna have a quick peek inside and I'll start again in a moment. So I just popped in the music shop, and you don't want to hear me strumming along to a badly on a guitar, but this is like one of those little streets that I mentioned how pretty they can be. Look at this. Imagine yourself, I know I can, imagining myself retiring to somewhere like this. We're just exploring at the moment, so this is fun. It's a striking blue, bluey purple, whatever that is. My word. Hopefully you're hearing that, the sound of the birds. Where to next? I guess do a Ramsey trip maybe at some point. Snaefell, Laxey, haven't even done Laxey myself yet. Which way to go? Let's all go this way. I think it's quite open yet, is it? Tesco Express now, still working on it. Maybe, or are they open? I don't know. No, still working on it. Getting there though. So, the ShopRite was bought out by Tesco's. There's been a little bit of an uproar about it because it's the whole monopoly thing, but for food security on the island, which you have to have because of the weather and cost of living and transportation, you know, if you have too many competitors, it does make it not necessarily going to be the best thing. If you've got one company that has plenty of storage and can keep all the goods in stock and supply it at a reasonable price, yeah, they are doing some local stuff as well. But ShopRite everyone's kind of saying about how great ShopRite was. But honestly, I went in there and there's some good things about them. There's a good local produce, but sometimes you were buying food that you get in Iceland, in the UK, and I just have like a 50 or 100% markup on it. And I don't think that's particularly, you know, wow, aren't they so wonderful and local that you get heavily overpriced chips. It's just worked out expensive. So I'm quite happy that we've got Tesco's and we've got places like Robinson's where you can get really good local produce, loads of it. So I'd like to see a few more little Robinsons pop up around the island. I don't prefer having a local butcher and baker, not a candlestick maker. I don't need them so much anymore. So I think Old Isle of Man Bank that's now closed. Alright, so now we're not far and we're back by the Wesleyan Centenary Hall and the Methodist Church or Chapel. And it's just gone 4. Should be perfect to go and wander and pick up the kids. So I don't know, I've been recording for a while now. So apart from cutting out a bit where I went in the guitar shop so my wife doesn't catch me looking at guitars again, and apart from the interaction with the young people, which I'll keep because I've recorded, though I wasn't recording them, I recorded the conversation just because, you know, weird thing when you're a priest now, you have to be really careful because we carry a bit of the burden of other people's awful acts when we're interacting with anybody else. But it's a shame because, again, that would have been a really good interaction to share with people, so see what it's like chatting to young people, what they could be like and how funny they were and good, you know, in good humour. Everything's in good humour, but I'll probably have to cut that out. And here we are back at the music school and the cathedral. Yeah, not too bad then. Whew. And a good walk. And I haven't even looked at what might be happening with the football yet. They're not finished quite yet. Can't see them. Yeah. Should just sit on the steps somewhere. Sit on the grass or something. Do we have to sit here or? Is that working? Yeah, we've got our active track going. Oh, a couple of benches and stuff. Maybe a little bit more in the shade. What a glorious day. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. I'm gonna wonder if they'll still sit over here. You never know, it might work. Without falling into a puddle of water or muck. Let's see. Will it work? Is it gonna catch me? Oh, look at this. Ah, brilliant. Balance on a tree. So yeah, it was a really nice walk. Great to kind of, I always like going out my collar. I'm not particularly attached to clerical wear of any description. I think it serves a purpose, and I think as whilst it serves a purpose, I'll wear it. So the reason I like wearing a collar is interactions like that with young people that I had. Generally people who will say hello, feel a bit more comfortable chatting to me as I'm walking around where I am in the parish and here. You know, I've been wearing my collar, going to a consecration at St Paul's Cathedral, and had tourists queuing up to receive a blessing outside of St Paul's. Absolutely wonderful experience, amazing. Like myself and some colleagues, and people go, "Would you mind? Can I have my photo with you?" And things like that. It's amazing. Often visitors from other countries who are perhaps more known for their faith, or that's not. Some, particularly Eastern European countries, have much stronger representation of Christians in their society. It's much more part of the expectation that people have faith. And so quite often it'll be, when I get people visiting the church from Eastern Europe or Africa, other places further afield, they'll want to take photos with the priest that they went to the service at, which is wonderful. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Yeah, no, put photos outside St Paul's and blessings outside St Paul's, and just generally when you're walking around, it's so nice to be able to chat to people and them to feel comfortable walking up to you. And it's, I guess it's an easy way of letting people know what you do and who you are. I call it it's an icebreaker, conversation starter. That's what you're after. So yeah, and lots of little interactions you'll see that I have kept on the video. People saying hello, chatting to me about the flowers, or that they've heard a beautiful bird. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it in the audio later, but it doesn't matter really. It's just little interactions, lovely little kind of conversations that happen as you wander around. And not always would happen without the collar. Some would. Lots of people are just friendly generally, but there's something that people still, thankfully, thank God for that, people feel comfortable talking to a priest, a random priest that they've never met before. So I think that's a good thing. I am just going to finish up now because I've got to pick up the kids, and they usually have a drink after they've been singing the choir Evensong. They usually grab them a drink from the spa down the road, and then we walk back to the car and drive home again. So and I've got to find out how bad we'll be doing in the football. So anyway, thank you for joining me on another walk. What is this going to be? Visit somewhere with the gaming vicar? Walk with the gaming vicar? I don't know. They say they kind of start blurring into one, don't they? Probably needs to be in two categories, but I guess I'm visiting a town, and I'm going, am I walking? Visit a place. Visiting Peel. Yeah, I suppose visiting Peel would be, it's more about the visit to Peel rather than the actual walk itself. And usually my walks are when I walk along a path or footpath somewhere. So we'll do that. Right, all the kids are being probably chucked out now. So thank you very much for watching the video. If any of you got to this stage, that is, a nice long one. Take care, God bless, and I will see you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.